We are living through an explosion of software generation. Today, AI agents allow developers to generate massive volumes of logic in seconds. But generating code quickly doesn't solve our primary bottleneck. Code is deterministic. It obeys absolute rules and compiles into absolute states. Products, on the other hand, are dictated by volatile human behavior. When organizations ignore that difference, they fall into the build trap. This happens when a company starts measuring its success by the sheer volume of features it outputs, rather than the business outcomes those features actually achieve. This chart illustrates exactly what happened to an educational platform called Marketly. They shipped 20 major unvalidated features all at once. The blue line represents their skyrocketing output, but as you can see, user adoption and revenue plummeted. The bloated software actively frustrated their instructors. To stop wasting effort on problems that users don't actually have, organizations must decouple technical execution from product strategy. The first step in bridging that gap is dismantling the traditional handoff between departments. Instead of tossing requirement documents over a wall, modern teams form cross-functional product trios, typically a product manager, a designer, and a lead engineer. These trios practice continuous discovery. Rather than guessing what to build in a yearly planning meeting, they interact with customers every week to test their assumptions against reality. To map out the infinite space of customer pain points, they use a diagram like this, an opportunity solution tree. It starts at the top with a single desired business outcome, splits downward into specific customer problems, and branches out further into potential solutions. From there, the team selects just one specific branch to test. They use low-fidelity prototypes, simple mock-ups or wireframes, to validate their ideas before committing engineering resources to write production code. The driving mantra here is simple. You have to experiment to learn before you build to earn. Once the right problem is identified and validated, the challenge shifts to the engineering layer. The goal is to build the solution without introducing unnecessary architectural bloat. Lean development relies on principles like "you aren't going to need it" or "YAGNI," and "keep it simple, stupid." These concepts force teams to maintain highly constrained, minimal technical requirements. Teams achieve this through a collaborative process called technical grooming. The product manager frames the exact user problem, and then the engineers propose the most efficient technical path, actively controlling the scope together. To defend against scope creep and heavy stakeholder demands, teams often use this mathematical equation known as the Rice scoring model. It evaluates a feature based on its reach, impact, confidence, and effort. By dividing the potential value of a feature by the estimated person-months required to build it, the formula generates an auditable, objective priority score. Using a mathematical framework ensures the product roadmap is defended by hard data rather than dictated by whoever has the loudest opinion in the room. With the scope locked in, teams need a safe way to get that code to users. This requires separating deployment, the act of putting executable files on a server, from release, which is the business decision to grant end users access. At the infrastructure layer, site reliability engineers use this method, the canary release. This diagram shows a load balancer routing 95% of incoming user traffic to stable servers, while diverting a tiny 5% fraction to a new canary instance to safely test network stability. In contrast, application teams use feature flags. These allow product managers to push new code to production, but keep it hidden from users behind a runtime toggle. This enables progressive delivery. A feature flag can be opened in stages, starting with internal testers, expanding to 10% of the public, and eventually reaching the entire user base. Separating deployment from release minimizes the blast radius of any potential failure. If a bug slips through, you turn off the flag and maintain your engineering momentum, rather than halting everything for an all-hands fire drill. After a feature is live, quantitative metrics will quickly show you exactly where users abandon a workflow, but they fail to explain why. To capture the why, product teams use friction logging. This is a qualitative process of documenting a user's exact experience, recording the emotional confusion and minor UI paper cuts that degrade a product over time. To translate research into real growth, organizations align around a single North Star metric. This framework replaces vanity metrics with a clear leading indicator driven by actionable inputs. For example, Netflix prioritized customers queuing 3 or more DVDs in their first session over simple sign-up volume. The ultimate goal of bridging the gap between code and product is transforming developers from mercenaries who blindly type instructions into missionaries who understand the broader vision. Because while writing logic is increasingly commoditized, building the exact right product remains the definitive strategic advantage.